we're just going to kind of go over a brief overview of two main methods of infusion with flower and with extract. So the smell that's kind of flowing through here is I have some hemp flower that was grown here that's going through this process of decarboxylation. The industry term for this is usually decarb. Have you guys ever heard this term before? So basically, if you had your regular flour and you were to consume it as is withoot doing anything to it, it probably won't get you very high. So it needs to go through decarboxylation to get activated. So 240 degrees for 40 minutes with flour or active extracts like live resin, things like that, that typically will give you decarboxylation at home. So there's a lot of fancy instruments that people sell trying to kind of take advantage of new consumers, but really as long as you can check your oven and make sure that it's calibrated, this works fine in your oven at home, and you can do that inside of a turkey roasting bag if you want to get rid of the smell. But we wanted the smell to have it be more festive, so I'm just roasting it in an open pan. And I'll show you what some decarbed flour looks like compared to the raw flour. So this is decarbed, but it's not too dark or anything. It's a little bit different in color from this, but as you can see, you don't really need to burn it or anything to get those therapeutic results from your flour. So you want to try to activate it and retain as much of the terpene profile as you can to get as much therapeutic benefit from the flour. So once you have it in this state, I just have a regular crock pot here. I have butter melting in here, and then I'm taking these nugs and throwing them straight in here. You could grind them up if you want to get better surface area. But 2 hours on low is really all you need to get a good encapsulation of the THC. At that point, you would just strain it, but keep your plant material because 50% of the THC is still in that plant material. It's not spent. You can use it in brownie mix or smoothies or a number of things. Whatever you eat can be an edible. So they don't have to be sweets and things like that, even though that's what we have here. This was just easy, and I could pick it up from Aldi on my way here. And bear with me, I'm a substitute here. I don't normally instruct here. So I'm just kind of filling in. So I don't have my home court experience. I don't know where everything is, so bear with me a little bit here. So does that kind of make sense in terms of infusing with flour? When you're infusing with flour, you really either want to infuse into fat or into ethanol or alcohol to rinse your flour of the THC. It's not water soluble, so if you want to remove some of the flavor from it and impurities, you can do a water rinse on it prior to decarbing it. It removes some of the wheat taste because some people don't want to taste it and some people do want to taste it. So it just really depends on the preference of whoever your market is. And then this is a CBD isolate. So this is 99.9% CBD. It's one of the least expensive forms of hemp extract. And you can purchase it in bulk for as little as $2 to $5 a gram. And it's nice because I know exactly what's in it and how much it is in it so that I can do my calculations and have them be accurate versus there's a plus or 10% a plus or minus 10% variance with your flour test results. So that's kind of, if accuracy really matters to you, you want to go with extracts. If that doesn't matter as much, go with flour. And there's all sorts of types of extracts, whether it's like full spectrum or like an isolate like this, where everything is kind of like all the personality has been ripped away from this. But yeah, have you guys ever seen CBD isolate before? It's just white powder. It tastes bitter. It's just, other than that, it doesn't really have a lot of characteristics. It infuses well into fats, sugars, or alcohols. So yeah. Here I have some CBD infused chocolate bark. And this is also a white chocolate fudge that may or may not be set up yet. I think it is. So feel free to come grab a piece of that if you want to. I have some like cornflake treats also setting up right now. That'll be ready in about like 10 minutes or so. But yeah, we can either make a fudge recipe or chocolate recipe. Does either one of those sound good to you? Yeah, let's do that. Pardon me, sorry. So this is a really easy and inexpensive recipe that even non-infused, like it's just good for like the pesky neighbor that like leaves you a bottle of wine for a present. Now you have to like come up with something to give them back, or like a teacher or something. But it's like less than $5 to make it without the cannabis in it. Because I use ingredients from Aldi. So all you need for the base of this recipe is sweetened condensed milk and a bag of chocolate chips. If the measurement doesn't need to be that precise, it's going to be around 12 ounces or 11 ounces. And then I have the can opener. Okay, it's probably easier to start with this part. So where you would infuse is into this chocolate, because that's where the fat is in this recipe. And we're actually going to use the microwave, not just because it's easy and convenient, but because that way we're going to avoid getting any moisture into our chocolate mixture, which would probably cause it to seize and ruin it. And then I just need to grab a spoon really quick, I'm sorry. So we're going to pretend this is like an exact gram or whatever the measurement would need to be. And I'm just going to eyeball it.
So do you put a lot or you don't put a lot?
Well, it depends on your preferred dose. And there are calculators that you would want to use. If you just typed into Google THC calculator, you would be able to have it be more precise, but it's really bitter, the CBD isolate at least. THC distillate doesn't have much of a taste, but this isolate really does, so I would just kind of use it sparingly, just so it doesn't taste too bad.
But while you let it melt, it will still go throughout the whole thing where it will still, everything will come.
Yeah, I'm going to stir it up. I'm going to like do like 30-second, 1-minute increments. I'll probably do a minute at first and then 30-second increments after that. And then once the chocolate's melted, then I'll add this in because it will cause it to kind of like seize up. so that way I can get it more fully homogeneous in the recipe. So there's not as many good I shouldn't say good because that's subjective. There's not as many like personality traits of the cannabis. Like once it becomes an isolate, it's pretty much any of the terpenes and stuff has been ripped away. So we're on opposite ends of the spectrum with these two different infusion methods.
So I got one of them ninjas right there, man. That's like my life. I got an oven. I don't even use it because of that, for real. That thing fire.
Yeah.
Just do everything. It's crazy.
This is my first time using one tonight. But it,
Make some, I would use it. It definitely works.
yeah, it's ripping through these trays of hemp flour. It's hemp flour.
You decarb that with it?
Yeah, yeah. And I decarbed this on the air fry setting just because I wanted to get the smell permeating through. And I mean, just some aromats. I think I have a knife up here. I'm just gonna use a spoon. It's not really that melted, honestly, in this first pass, but the next one is gonna get it. But it doesn't need to be super heated up for the that CBD isolate to dissolve into the cocoa fat, or this is palm oil probably, unfortunately, because it's not really the most sustainable oil out there, but you get what you pay for at $2 from Aldi. It's a little awkward to like just keep pressing the microwave for a group of people, so I apologize for that.
So when you bake the flour first, how many seconds, well, how long should you keep it in the oven when you bake it first?
For 40 minutes. And my biggest tip is to use like an oven, like an internal thermometer, to check and make sure, like if you set it to 240, if it actually reaches 240. Because like my oven at home only gets up to like 220 or 230, and for this process to take place in that amount of time, it has to be exact for the 240. Okay. So I have my melted chocolate with the CBD isolate in here, and I'm just kind of stirring it as best as I can by hand to get it homogeneous. When I work in an industrial kitchen for a cannabis company, I use a chocolate tempering machine that spins by itself for, as long as I tell it to. Then it's just a can of sweetened condensed milk. And it immediately is going to pretty much thicken up. And you can flavor it with any different flavor profile that you want. So like mint works really well with cannabis. It also just happened to be like festive. But cinnamon works really well. Sorry, this is just taking a minute to do it by hand here.
So are those on the plate, are those free samples? Can we taste them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just CBD chocolate. Oh, shit.
I missed the first part of this. Are you
Oh.
putting that in this, or are you making that into an order?
What was it?
The flour, are you putting that, are you making that into the oil?
Oh yeah, I'm making the flour into a butter, and then in the chocolate this is CBD isolate. So it's just pure CBD, and the flour is hemp flour, so there's no THC in it. And they would know exactly what strain it was. Oh, it's just CBD isolate, so it's just pure CBD. It's cannabidiol. I think I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but there's no psychoactive properties to it. Yeah, you can, yeah. I think, okay. I think I just need like 5 minutes to get ready for the next group. Oh yeah.
We gotta leave?
Oh no.
Oh, where you going? I thought she was getting ready.
But I'm not gonna correct them. I do need like 5 minutes after you guys leave.
It don't mean you leave all.
So
Yeah.
what did you use, because I see you have almond chocolate right there, so that's what you use to make the bark? Okay.
Yeah, and it's really inexpensive, and I mean I used to.
And then what did you make with the bark? What ingredients did you add with the bark? The same white powder or?
Nothing. Just this white powder, but no, this. Just,
Okay.
yeah. And this was chocolate chips, actually, so it tastes a little bit better.
Okay.
This looks so gross, dude. I just did not want to do this in front of that whole room of people, so thank you guys. Just looks disgusting. But it will be, I mean, it'll be okay. It's not the best recipe for fudge. But it's, I'm sorry, I forgot it was being recorded. But it's not the best, but it's inexpensive and easy. And so it's like that triangle of the fast, cheap, and good. It's fast and cheap, but it's not good. It's but yeah. So that's that. Do you guys have any questions though, or other than that?
So how would you extract after you take it out the oven? How would you extract it?
I would cook it in the crock pot on low for 2 hours, and then I would just strain it through the strainer.
So you would dump that into the crock pot, and then is it with or without butter?
Oh yeah, it's with the butter. There's a couple of sticks of butter just melted in here, and this is on high, so
okay.
as you see, high will caramelize it a little bit.
Okay.
So, but I was just trying to get it done faster.
Okay. And then when you drain it, you put it in something else and then freeze it, refrigerator it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.